Hello, Miss Nisansana. Can you hear me?
Yes, Jamiti, I can hear you.
Yes. Since we have around 15 minutes for the session, we can try sharing the screen and see and check the sounds as well.
Sure. Give me a minute.
Sure.
Can you see the screen?
Yes, I can see the screen.
Okay.
Shall we check the YouTube video as well?
Think I haven't shared the sound. I reshare the screen and play it.
Okay, sure.
The English biologist Thomas Huxley famously the English
Can you hear the sound?
biologist
Yeah, I can hear the sound, but I
Thomas
can.
Huxley famously
Yeah, but like the YouTube video is playing as another screen on top of the shared screen.
On
Can
top
we?
of the shared screen, I played.
Okay. Shall we try playing it full screen and then
Yeah,
with the
sure.
sounds?
said, "Try to learn something about everything and everything about something."
Is it
Right.
okay
I
like
can.
this?
Yes, this is okay.
Okay.
Yeah, this should be all right.
Okay. Thank you, Jamiti.
Okay, no worries. Romario, can you also speak a bit so I can check your sounds as well?
Yep. Hello.
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, I think we are all ready to go. Do you both want to try anything else out? I'm assuming Nisansala is the only one that's gonna share the screen.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, then we are set to go, right?
Yep.
Okay. Miss Suresha, we are ready to go once the students have joined.
Okay, Miss Shamiti. So let's start by 6 o'clock.
Right, sure. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
AND.
Okay, so good evening, everyone. So I can see that so many participants are joining with us right now. So let's take like 2 or 3 minutes and then start the session. And in case if you logged out from the Zoom session, or in case any of your friends can't join using the Zoom link, you can still join with us using the YouTube live stream as well. Thank you. So let's start the session within like 2 or 3 minutes. Thank you. Okay, so since we have over 100 participants, I think we are good to go with starting the session today. So, good evening, everyone. A very warm welcome to all of you joining with us today. So, I am Dilrukshi Sirivardhana, and I'll be your moderator for this evening's webinar, which is the third session in our insightful workshop series. So this valuable webinar is proudly organized in collaboration with Section E3 Computer Science of the SLAS, which is the Sri Lanka Association for the Advancement of Science, IEEE Computer Society Sri Lanka's chapter, and the IFS, which is a global enterprise software company. So we extend our sincere thanks to all these partners for making this workshop possible and for their continuous commitment to empowering the next generation of IT professionals. So this 6-part workshop series is specially designed to bridge the gap between academia and the software industry by equipping undergraduates like you with the industry knowledge and the real world insights. After the successful conclusion of 2 workshops, today we are ready to start the session titled with Exploring Diverse Career Pathways in IT, aiming to inspire you to discover the different directions your career can take in the tech world and to how to align your strength with those opportunities. So before we begin, let me give you a quick reminder about some housekeeping guidelines to ensure a smooth session flow. So starting with the first guideline is please keep your microphones muted throughout the session unless you are asked to speak. So we will be having a Q&A session towards the end of this session. So kindly post your questions in the Zoom chat and we will be taking them one by one in the Q&A session. And most importantly, avoid scribbling or drawing unnecessary content on the screen. And please note that this session is being recorded for educational purposes. So without delay, let's go to the introduction of our distinguished guest speakers for today. So today, we are thrilled to welcome not just one, but 2 inspiring professionals from the IFS. Their presence here reflects IF's incredible commitment to empowering the next generation of tech talents. We are especially grateful to the IFS for going the extra mile by offering us an additional expert to enrich this session, ensuring our students gain deep insights as they explore the diverse and exciting career pathways in IT. So first, we have Mr. Romario Joseph, the Manager, Software Engineering, Research and Development at the IFS. So Mr. Romario leads teams in developing intelligent, user-focused features for human capital management solutions. And with nearly 6 years of experience, he has steadily grown from a software engineer to a strategic leader. His core strengths lie in agile development, product innovation, and mentoring engineering teams. And also joining with us, we have Ms. Nisansela Dabarera, a software engineer product training at the IFS. Ms. Nisansela holds a Bachelor of Science Honours in Computer Engineering degree from the KDU and is an IFS certified trainer. She brings a unique blend of academic excellence and hands-on technical training expertise. She has conducted numerous sessions on the IFS cloud platform and is passionate about simplifying complex IT concepts in practical knowledge. Together, they will be sharing today not only technical career insights, but also what employers truly expect from graduates in today's dynamic tech landscape. So without further delay, let's warmly welcome Mr. Romario Joseph and Ms. Nisansela Dabarera to begin the session today. The session is now over to you both.
Thank you. So I think Ms. Ansela will share the screen and we can get started.
Okay, you can see the screens.
Yes.
Okay.
Cool. So on behalf of Ms. Ansela and myself, first and foremost, welcome to the session. And yeah, hopefully we'll be able to share some insightful information with you guys that will be useful as you go along in your careers. Cool. So maybe we can warn.
Excuse me, Mr. Romario.
Yes.
I think I can't hear you. I'm not sure whether it is only me.
I can hear from my end.
Yeah, I can hear from my end as well.
Is it okay now?
Yeah, you are now audible, Mr. Romario. Thank you.
Yeah, cool. So I think we can move on and we'll talk you through kind of the agenda we have for today's program. Yeah. So first, we'll start off with a small activity just to see what you guys are thinking, because we are going to be talking about the career paths that we have in IT and all of that. So we'll see where you guys are at, what you think about it right now. And then Nisansela and myself will go through kind of explaining what the IT field is, what's there in it, the available career pathways, some tips when you look at starting the career here and what's needed there, as well as some real world insights, and there's some maybe stories and tips as you get started. And of course, like mentioned at the end, we leave enough of time for some questions and answers to clarify any doubts that you may have. So yeah, we can move on and get started with the first activity. So like I mentioned, we would like to ask you this question. So just think about this for a moment. So when you hear the term IT career, what's the first role that comes to your mind? I mean, when someone says, I mean, a career in IT, what do you think? What's the first, job or role that comes to your mind? So if you click next, we have this Mentimeter poll that or activity that you like, that we would like you to try on. So if you could scan this QR code and just join this and maybe enter your answer. So I don't think everyone will be able to join. It has a capacity of 50, but if some of you at least could try joining this, scan the QR code and join and enter your answer. I'm seeing some people joining. Right. Maybe we can also move to that slide, Nisansala, with the
Yeah, sure.
answers.
I put it.
I think you'll have refresh. So we have 12 people inside, 13 people. And so far the answers we have got is software developer, software engineer, SE, web developer. Any other answers are coming? Still it's around software engineering. Okay, machine learning engineer. It's good. Any other answers? QA, quality engineer. Okay. Any other answers? Data analyst, yes. Yeah. Maybe in 30 seconds more, we'll wait and see whether we get any other answers. Cybersecurity specialist. Testers, yeah. Okay, so I think we can see, right? I mean, when we say we are looking for a role in the IT sector or an IT career, it's not just software engineering. I mean, I know software engineering is a big part of it. And then we have kind of these mainstream roles that we often hear about a lot of the time. But then it's much broader than that. And that's what we will look at kind of going through today, kind of take you through most of the available fields we have nowadays, some roles in those fields and all of that. So yeah, thank you for your answers. And yeah, now I think we can get started and over to you, Nisansala.
Thank you, Romario. Okay, so hope I'm enough audible to you all.
Yes.
Yes,
Okay,
Miss Nisansara.
thank you for your confirmation. So I'll start with the topic, what is the IT field? So hope all of you have joined from IT department, which you may have doing different kind of IT related degrees. So what is IT? So as the name stand for, you can see it is for information technology, right? So what we need that information technology. So if you think about day-to-day scenarios, so you are using IT. So if you have use certain applications, the websites, and also you are using certain cloud storage devices, the different kind of network methodologies to join the, even for today's Zoom meeting, you are using certain kind of technologies. So under IT, we are talking about several devices, the digital devices, the networks, and then the storage devices, as well as some other infrastructure relevant stuff. We are going to talk about under the information technology. So why we need those things in order to do communicate, or to in order to create, process, store, as well as to manage our digital data, or we call it as electronic data. So that is why we need IT. And today it is having kind of a vast amount of IT industries which deliver IT relevant services, the products. So IFS is also a software company which delivers certain IT relevant services and then the products. So we'll see what we are having in the next slide. So when it is considered about IT, we are focusing on several areas. So before we move to what are the IT relevant roles, we'll talk about what are the certain areas that we are coming under the IT section. So here you can see, just take a minute and look into these fields. I'll explain one by one in upcoming slides. Right, people. Hope all of you have observed what are some examples for IT relevant sectors which are using certain the methodologies coming under the IT. So when it is considered about a certain, as I mentioned, real life scenario, like whenever you use let's say kind of example, if you are using a bank app, so in there also it is applying several things. So you need to make sure that app is was built correctly by certain developers. So mainly set of developers, the programmers, the bug fixers, the people who are dealing with bug fixings are involving in creating certain application. So because of that, you are gaining kind of application to use in your day-to-day life. And also when it is you are using that kind of application to do your bank transaction, you need to ensure you are having certain security mechanisms to protect your data. So that is also coming under certain section called cyber security. Everything are managed relevant to the securities under cyber security. So likewise, there are certain fields that we need to consider in IT sector. So we'll talk one by one in simply before we go to the roles. So it is better to get kind of a simple idea what is this kind of a field under the IT. Okay, so we'll initially go through software development. So you may know what is software development, right? From starting from first year to the fourth year, you are dealing with basically some basic knowledge relevant to OOP and some kind of database languages you are using. So here mainly the people who are involving for doing the developments are dealing with certain languages, the basic programming languages, and they are using certain methodologies like the agile, waterfall. Those methodologies are using in order to do the software development. So you are using those, you are learning those things. So in the software development, we need to apply the learned things, like the programming languages, the database languages, and the methodologies that you have followed, like agile, waterfall. So those are being using in our industry under software development. So when it is considered about the software development, you may have learned software life cycle development. So in that case, we are focusing on certain phases in the development. So underneath that, several people are involving. Maybe for the, as I mentioned, for the development, set of people are involving, and then in order to check whether the application is working well, the set of people are doing certain testings, like the people who are coming under the QA. So they are using the certain kind of tools and then test it to ensure whether your application is going to the customer end. So likewise, there are certain phases coming under software development. We'll discuss what are the roles in upcoming slides. So I'm not going to explain most in here. So what kind of applications that we can develop? Again, the software development is categorized of in different kind of ways. You can see here for delivering mobile applications and to creating websites, web applications, as well as even for desktop application. The desktop applications are installed in your desktop, so you don't need any cloud storage. You can run it in your local machine. And also when it is creating operating systems, we are using certain languages, so that is also coming under software development. And also the video games development also can be done. So different set of people are working in order to deliver these kind of products under the software development. Okay, so that is for software development. So there's another section coming under the IT section. You can see infrastructure and networking. So what is this? So infrastructure and networking, we call it as kind of a backbone that keeps our digital systems connected together to make sure to run our certain program smoothly. It makes sure to connect several devices together with a good connection. So under the infrastructure, we can get kind of devices like the servers, the data centers, and the storage systems, the cloud platforms we are using if we are hosting our applications, the databases like the AWS, Azure, those things are using. And also you can even use virtual machines as well. So those are coming on the infrastructure. And under the networking, if you consider about in when you are connect several devices together, you may need the routers, the switches, and in order to secure your data flow, we will need the firewalls, some other methodologies. So those are coming under the networking. So the people who are working also we'll talk about in upcoming slide. Take an idea what is this sector in IT. Okay, so thirdly, we are having cyber security. So this is also coming under most essential field under the IT. So many people are now currently are working on this field as well, apart from the software development. So why we need the cyber security in IT? In order to protect our data, the digital systems, the network, we need this cyber security. So in order to protect from certain threats, from hackers as well as from viruses, data breaches, we need certain security mechanisms, right? So as the taken example at the beginning, when you are using the bank application, so the cybersecurity ensures your money and personal data stay safely. So again, we'll see what are the roles coming under the cybersecurity in upcoming slide. And also nowadays it is needed to focus about the data science and AI. Apart from again the software development, it is now very famous in order to deal with AI and current technologies and new findings. We need set of people who are dealing with data science and AI. So here, why we need data science? In order to do predictions, we are doing kind of analysis by taking certain data sets. So hope all of you have familiarized with certain programming languages like Python. So we need kind of programming languages as well in order to deal with certain predictions, and also we are dealing with some data sets as well. And also the AI is that is stand for the artificial intelligence. So we need AI in order to ease our task actually. So we need to always adhere to the current technologies that are coming with our IT. So that is why here it is very important thing. So AI giving so lot of benefits. It is of doing the developments rather than uh, like we are manually coding. We can get kind of hints, suggestions from certain platforms which are running under the AI. So those things we can take as kind of a helping part whenever we're dealing with certain jobs. So we'll see what are the roles coming under the data science and AI. Okay, and also the cloud computing is also kind of important sector coming under the IT. So it's about if you are dealing with certain projects, you may have kind of idea about dealing with certain cloud storages. You may need some cloud storages in order to store your data and in order to manage your data. So we can use cloud computing in order to, as I mentioned, to store data, run applications, and manage cloud resources to scale our system. According to the uh, pay as you go method, you can use these services. So there are famous services that are giving cloud the opportunity to host your applications and your other relevant things in the cloud services. Okay, so we'll talk about again the roles in upcoming slides. And this sector is also under the business analysis and project management. The people, set of people are dealing with under this sector as well. So whenever we gain kind of a requirements to build a certain applications, so we need to get it in correct manner by mapping with our business requirements. So who are dealing with that set of thing coming under the business analysis, focusing on getting kind of a requirements from customer, and then it is transferring into the technical side. So that is coming that is doing by set of people who are dealing under the business analysis. And the project management is people are dealing with who are the responsible people. The project management, what happened in that, so it's ensure our project are delivered on time, within budget, and meet costs. So again, in a set of IT company, if it is get a startup even, so there are some responsible person who are dealing with the project management, business analysis, and developments. So we'll see those set of people. And as I mentioned, the testing part, or else we call it quality checking, the under QA and testing, there are again set of peoples are dealing with. So why they are dealing under this sector, to test our software in order to find bugs, issues, and also in order to ensure the quality standards are met before we deliver our product. And the people who are dealing with that, they are writing certain test cases. So there are certain ways that we can write the test cases as well. If you are allowed to know how those things are going, so you can refer. There are many resources. There are, you can see manual testings and automation testings are doing under need this QA and testing. So you can refer those to methodologies if you want to go with certain roles under the QA and testing. And yeah, so we'll again talk about the roles in deep manner in upcoming slides. And another sector coming under the IT section is UI and UX design. So what is this stand for? Is it for the same thing, UI and UX? Is it for the same thing, or is it different in meaning? So what do you think? Yes, so if you have any idea, you can put it in the chat as well. Okay, I can see an answer: user interface and user experience. Yes, that is stands for those meanings that you have given. Yeah. And Satira has mentioned user interface is the physical layout, whereas the user experience is what the user actually experiences. Yes. So that is correct, right? So according to the name implies you can get a good idea what is that. So UI means user interface. So, and UX means user experience. So when it is creating a application, even it is mobile application, web application, or desktop application, we need to think about whether it is visually appealing and it is good for user interactions as well. So in perspective of user experience, we are focusing on whether certain features are manageable by from user end. So it is needed to give our application to be used it in easy manner rather than struggling to find where you need to click, or else some other difficulties are coming across when you are using certain applications. So we need to avoid those things, and we need to make sure it is having a good user experience within our application. So that is coming under that. And then UI, user interface, as the name implies, it means the people who are dealing with that section, they are responsible in order to give our application by having a set of in good appealing view, by having set of colors, visually appealing colors. If you are using certain buttons where you need to have it like maybe it's small or large, something like that, you need to always think about the appealing view under the user interface. So I hope you can get the difference in between UI and UX design. So there are again set of papers who are coming under the developments. They're dealing with the front end developments actually. So basically, the role is going under the UI and UX designing. And there are set of tools as well that you can use in order to focus on certain developments coming under the UI and UX design. So you can refer for Figma, the Adobe XD Sketch, and Photoshop. So those things are being used in producing a digital products in good visual appealing way. Right. So those are coming under this. We'll see what is the next sector. So we are having lastly to talk about IT support and admin. So there are a set of people who are responsible in fixing our certain IT devices issues, or maybe in our network if we facing certain issues. So there should be a set of people in an organization or in a company to focus on certain issues and resolving those things as well. So they are again responsible for certain thing coming under the IT administration. So there are set of roles as well. So we will talk about those things. And apart from the technical fields that I talked up to now, if you're a student in the IT section, there are non-technical sites as well that you can explore. So we'll see what are the non-technical roles or several areas that you can refer. So if you are familiarized with certain project management tools, or also if you are allowed to deal with the project management activities, so not only it's having the project management role, there are some other roles as well. So the Scrum Master is a kind of a role coming under the project management. So here I took this one in order to show what are the non-technical areas as well. So here I took three examples: Scrum Master, Product Owner, and Tech Writer. So what is this Scrum Master? As I mentioned, it's coming under the project management, and the Scrum Master in a team, we call it as facilitator, and or else we call it as a coach in agile software development, right? So they help to team follow certain Scrum practices and remove roadblocks and improve collaboration in the team. And we are having the product owner as well in in a team. If it is having certain product developments, so they are maybe having certain product owner for that certain area. So okay, so who is that the product owner? So they decide what to build next, right? So they are acting on top of the customer's voice, and they are the responsible party who decide what to build next. So they know this relevant area way, the product area way. And we are having the technical writers. So in upcoming slides also you will see these are roles coming under the IT section, or in other sections also you can follow these roles under non-technical roles. So tech writer, maybe they create the instructions or else the manuals, help guides that you see in the applications. So if you allow in creating certain scripts and the guides in certain development, so you can go with this one as well. So yeah, so that's about technical fields and non-technical fields that you can go with. And to talk about several roles that we have discussed under the sectors in IT, I'll hand over to Romario.
Yep, thanks, Susanthila. Thanks for going through the fields and what they are, and kind of what we should look for in the different fields that we have in IT. So I think when we started this in the activity we saw, a lot of people focusing on software engineering, QA, and cybersecurity. But then we saw, right, that there is a couple of more fields as well. And what I'll kind of try to go through in the coming slides is in these fields, you will see different companies, looking out for particular roles in each of these fields. And each role has its own expectations. Each role, we look for certain requirements. It's for certain people with certain likings, people with certain skills. So let's kind of look at what are the different roles you can grow into and the hats that you can wear in the industry. Yep. So first, starting off with, I think, again, one of the main roles that we have is in development. So when we say IT job nowadays, what people think is, okay, you're in one of these roles, you're a software engineer or something like that, right? And some of the main roles that we do have here are usually front-end developers, back-end developers, and also full-stack developers. So I'm pretty sure it's a bit self-explanatory as well, these names, right? When we say a front-end developer, we know it means a developer who builds the UIs. So they'll get a design, they'll code that with HTML, CSS, JS, and all of that, and then build that front end. And then you have the backend developers who will build the business logic, they'll build the APIs, handle the databases, and all of these may have their own sub roles as well. For example, a backend developer could be an API developer, integration developer, and things like that. But overall, if you look, you fall under the same expertise. And then, of course, there is full stack developers, which mean that you can do kind of a jack of all trades, if I say like that. And something that, I mean, that we have seen across, the years trying to get people into these roles, we normally don't look for someone who just can code, right? I mean, you may be the best coder and all of that, but what we have seen is software engineering is much bigger than that, right? I mean, you have to be able to understand what you are building and be able to explain that later as well. So probably here something that we should focus on going forward is, I mean, it's not about just doing your assignments. It's not just writing some code or getting some thing from Stack Overflow or anything like that. But it's about building certain maybe small projects, small ideas, pushing it to a GitHub repo, and trying out different tools while doing that, right? So, what my advice is, if you're early in your journey, just pick one language. I mean, something that's core and needed nowadays is like JavaScript and Python, and start building something, because you will need those to get your internships, to get your jobs, to get started. You will need those, because when you go for an interview, usually what we like to hear is, hey, I've tried building these things. These are some projects I've worked on. These are the challenges I faced in these projects. These are what I learned in the projects, and all of that. Right. So as developers, what we like to see is that you have built something, because it's for the people who like building things and all of that. So the more experience you have in that, the more hands-on stuff you have done, it's more worthwhile than knowing 10 languages and all of that. It's being able to show what you have done, because your expertise in languages will be able to switch as you go on. And if we move on to the next roles, which is in QA, again, one of the main aspects in software engineering is QA, because there's no point in writing code and deploying it if it's going to break the next day. And that's why QA is for those curious people, I'd say. And it's not just, maybe you're not as techy and into coding as everyone else, but you're into this, right? I mean, you don't have to have a hardcore coding background. You need to understand technology, understand those ways of working. But more importantly is you have to be someone with that kind of analytical mindset, be a bit organized as well, because again, you need to think of things in a different way, identify patterns and all of that, right? And it's also, you need to be a bit creative, because a developer, when they're developing, is going to think of things in a particular way, right? When we are developer tests something, we tend to test. I mean, I come from a development background, and usually what I tend to test is, okay, these are the probable paths that a user may go on. But a QA usually tests something beyond that. They think of things in a much broader way, a much weird way, because at the end of the day, when a user does something weird, is what's going to bring down production. I mean, the normal things are never going to cause a problem. It's all those abnormal things that happen here and there. And as a QA, usually you tend to get trained to find those things during the development, to find those things, to make sure the developers know how to prevent those things, and all of that. So QA has evolved along the years. I mean, we have manual QAs heavily those days, and we still do. But now slowly we are moving to automation engineers, and then also performance testing is a big part of QA nowadays, because softwares are distributed everywhere now, and it's heavily used. So we need to usually make sure that things last under load and all of that. And yeah, again, something here is you don't need to be full techie to be in this role. So again, I'll say that, but you need to kind of understand technology, how to use certain things, like maybe use APIs, use tools like Postman, maybe take it up a notch a bit. I mean, I'm not sure how many of you all are aware of tools like Selenium. I mean, Selenium again is again a tool that is probably not just for testing. I mean, if you think of it, it can be used to automate a lot of other tasks as well, not just for testing. And nowadays there is different UI tools like functionaries and stuff coming into this as well. So yeah, that's about the QA roles, and we can move maybe to the next slide where we will talk about business and product focus roles. So again here, I think Nissan Sala spoke about these as well. So business analyst roles, product management roles, product owner roles. These are again going away from PO tech roles, but still roles that you need to have a technical understanding, right? These are for the communicators, the planners, and still the people who like to solve problems, right? So if you're the person maybe in your, group in your university ends up organizing stuff, ends up taking that leader role in the group project. This could be maybe something that you would like, right? I mean, these roles, they don't require to be a coder again, but again, you have to understand because again, it's about communicating with developers and helping them understand. So yeah, you don't need to tell them how to write their code, but you need to be able to effectively say, okay, this is what I want. So communication is pretty key in this, and being able to sometimes diagram out things, draw things out, and explain your idea is again very important. And also kind of coming up with plans. I mean, there is that notion or there is that idea that, okay, planning is just for product managers. But even as business analysts, planning out, you will come up with a requirement, but breaking that down, planning that out into chunks is part of usually a responsibility. So if you're good at planning and you have that knack in you, this is probably an area that you should look into. So yeah, these kind of roles, what usually we look at when we are trying to get people on board is how you talk in the interview. I mean, maybe you are an SC looking to come into these roles, you have worked with tech, but you want to move into a role like this. Again, it's how you talk and explain things, how you get your idea across. Because here again, the main thing is your interviewer is going to be someone who's totally new. And if you can explain to them perfectly what's going on in your head, what your thought process was, it's basically this way role is meant for you. Yep. And moving on, we have data, AI, and BI related roles. I mean, these roles are quickly becoming kind of the new norm. I mean, these are nowadays what everyone's looking at, right? Personally, it's a bit tedious. I mean, understanding data and all of that and trying to analyze that and build it in formats that people understand, right? So we have a couple of roles here, of course, like data analysts, where your responsibility is to clean and visualize the data. Then you have data scientists, more to come up with predicting trends and work with machine learning to kind of understand those things. And then you have BI developers to build BI reports, dashboards, and all of that. And of course, ML engineers. I think we got that answer as well, to build models for apps and all of that. And yeah, I'd say this role is for people who like to analyze trends and all of that. And here again, it's similar to being an SC. It's about showing what you have done, showing you're passionate about this. And a lot of people, when you talk about these roles, they say that they built this model to predict the stock market and all of that. I mean, it's more important of the fact what you have tried and showing how you tried it and your thought process. I mean, maybe small things like predicting weather. I mean, there is a lot of public data sets out there. that we can use to make prediction things, build dashboards, and show that. Again, similar to an SC, if you can show an output here or explain things you have worked on when it comes to an interview, when it comes to that, you're going to land a job. And also while you're doing it, you're going to figure out, am I good at this or not? Do I like doing this or not? So that's why, again, trying out these things, I keep on saying, is important before you go to an interview or whatever, is because it helps you identify, is this something that you want to do or not? And moving on to cybersecurity. So if you take the cybersecurity field, again, it's more, I mean, I know you guys are CS students, so probably a bit outside there, but again, some of the roles we have there are security operations center analysts, so SOC analysts basically. What they do is, I mean, even companies like IFS, we have IT departments which monitor, I mean, we have thousands of people working, so we need to monitor the networks, make sure that everyone's traffic is clean and clear and all of that. And then you have penetration testers. Again, I saw that answer as well, about trying to see if our systems should hold up to certain cyber attacks, and then risk analysts as well. I do not personally have a lot of experience when it comes to this field, but from what I have seen and learned, at least over the past couple of years, as we've started looking into this, is like, you're not going to be able to build things, but here what people look at is what you have tried out, the technologies that you have explored. I mean, and I know in cybersecurity, there's a lot of principles and theories behind what we follow as well. So your experience with that, and I know there are a lot of platforms as well online that we can try. So things like that, your experience with that is what we usually look at. And moving on to, again, a pretty hyped up and important field or area nowadays is, again, cloud, DevOps, and infrastructure, where we have cloud engineers, DevOps engineers, and again, network administrators, and all of that. Again, this is nowadays where we are looking at cloud, making things available everywhere. This is a high in demand area right now. And honestly, it feels like bigger companies are a bit too late to come to this. I mean, it has been out there for some time. I mean, for example, Jenkins has been there for a while, right? I mean, a long time. And then now, I mean, even things like AWS, Azure have been there for some time, a long time. And now only we are moving to these platforms. And of course, for large applications, it takes time. But now they have started moving to it, which is why the big focus has come to this. And we have started automating a lot of our delivery pipelines and all of that. So some of these terms may be a bit weird, but for example, delivery pipeline means, of course, for example, let's say IFS will keep releasing new features every 3 months or every 6 months. And we want our customers to be able to get that seamlessly without someone having to go in, install it, update the things and all of that. So basically, this will automate that process. As soon as we release it, it automatically gets updated in custom environment. And I mean, the value of that is, I don't think you can put a number on it. I mean, it's really valuable. So that's why there is a big focus on this nowadays. And it's very complicated. It's not very complicated, actually. It's a bit scary. I mean, nowadays, a lot of people, there's a lot of certifications around it, and those certifications are hard. So then people think that it's a bit of a complex thing and all of that. But honestly, it's with practice, it's again pretty much something that anyone could get onto. It's not as techy as a software engineer, but still it requires you to be able to process and make things into a process and organize things and all of that. So not as techy, but still you get to work with tech, but a bit in intermediate role. Could swap between this and a QA engineer if you would like, but yeah. And moving on to the next one, which is again an interesting role, UI UX related roles. Nowadays, a lot of people talk about this role, and I think there has been a big shift because maybe 10 years back, when you talk about a UI designer, you would think of someone who writes HTML, kind of like a graphic designer, or kind of like a front-end developer, a hybrid of that, you would think. But nowadays, a lot of focus when you say UI UX designer is about user research, understanding users, talking to them. So again, this is not a tech role, more of a business analyst role, and you need to be able to understand. Now, if you saying if a business analyst is supposed to communicate their requirements clearly, UI UX engineer is also supposed to be able to get answers from customers, get answers from clients, which is not a very easy thing. So it's a lot of psychology and things as well that come here. And then you need to be also creative and be able to kind of map that into a form that then analysts and engineers can use to build and design and go on. So yeah, you need to be creative and also be able to communicate with other people and get their feelings, feel their pulse better. So sketching and things like that is very important here again. And here it's not about drawing a nice UI and come and showing it if that UI is going to be not practical. It's about being able to build practical UIs, show those and explain those at an interview. That again, it's about projects and how you can explain the value of those things. And moving on to the next slide, where we kind of talk about some other roles that don't fall into any of these and kind of, lying outliers if you take all of those. So you have roles like technical writer, which is not techie, but again, there's someone who has to document all the things that are going on. So you need to kind of understand functional and technical terms, but you don't need to understand code, for an example. So you need to be able to document functionalities and things like that. Because again, if you take IFS, we're a big ERP system. Within that, we have different functional components, and it's, for example, being built over 20, 25 years. So someone needs to keep documenting it as it goes along. So for those things, we have, again, technical writers and roles like that. And then, of course, solution consultants. It can be functional consultants, technical consultants. But again, these are people that directly face, so software engineers may not directly face with customers. These people, once a product is sold, usually a customer needs a bit of tweaks in that product to make it work for them. So these consultants will understand what the customer's process is. So not the feature, but what the customer does in their day-to-day and try to map that into a system and tweak the system for that. That's why they are called solution consultants. So they tweak the product to make it a solution for the customer. So again, this is very big in ERPs and companies like IFS, where we make our product fit into the customer's workflows. And then, of course, there are things like game designers and developers as well, which is interesting for a lot of people usually. So yeah, these are some roles that we have. I mean, it's not all the roles. Again, here and there may be sub roles. There may be other names for these roles and things like that. But this is mainly some of the things that fall under the common umbrella here and there. Right. So finally, I'll talk a bit about when you're planning on trying to figure out where you fit into these roles. How can you decide that? I mean, I know I had that problem as well as to where do I fit in, and also that feeling kind of changes as you go on. Like after a couple of years, you want to try different things, and yeah. So how do we kind of work with that? Yeah. So mainly what I say is ask yourself these three questions, right? What do I like, right? I mean, do I enjoy building stuff? Or do I prefer understanding requirements, trying to map those out, trying to, not build it per se, but explain how to build it, trying to understand what's needed. What do I actually like? Now, personally, when I started off, I just loved building things. I wait for a use story to come where someone has written, okay, we need these pages, we need these fields, and I love to build that. Or I like to see a bug and try to find what causes that bug and fix that. In the first couple of years as I'm a SC, I love that. But then as I moved on and grew in my career, then I wanted to do a bit different things. I wanted to then see, maybe plan things out, guide other people and do things like that. So like that, it's fine if it changes, but right now we need to ask that question as to what you want to do. And again, another question that's very important is, are you more of a structured thinker? Do you like to think in, a particular set of ways, or do you like to kind of be a free thinker? Do you like to be a bit smart in your problem solving? And also because something that comes when you're an SC is usually, a software engineer is usually, you need to be a bit creative with your problem solving. You can't, there is no straightforward answer usually. I mean, if there was a straightforward answer for bugs, for example, then it's not going to be a bug. You need to sometimes get a bit creative and think of how to solve those problems. But if you're more of a structured thinker and you like to focus on things in a particular way, then again, more functional analyst roles, design UX designer roles, those are more roles that will fit you. But if you like to be creative and try things out a different way, those practical technical roles are something that's probably for you. Then yeah, do I thrive in working alone, or do I enjoy collaborating with people? Again, here I would say all the roles you need to collaborate with people, all the roles you need to work with people. But in some instances, I mean, SCs get to kind of focus on their things and do it alone, whereas business analysts, product owners, QAs, for example, need to kind of spread outside, work with a lot of people. SC usually has their business analysts, they do what they say and kind of stuck there. Ideally, everyone should be able to collaborate, and that's something key we look for. But again, if your tendency is towards being a solo kind of problem solver, then maybe that's for you. Again, these are some questions that we need to constantly ask ourselves whenever we feel that, okay, is this the right thing I'm doing and all of that. These are some questions that we need to ask ourselves, because it's not one thing that fits all. Maybe, my friend sometimes likes this, so I should not be doing it. I should see what I like to do for myself. And in the next more slide, also something that I want to say is, a lot of people kind of lock themselves into one role and they stick onto that. And what happens is, after 10, 20 years, maybe you will burn out and lose interest. Maybe you don't, but most of the time, as humans, we tend to do that. So exploration, just like in life and everything else, it's very key even in your career. So just because you do an internship, for example, as an SC, doesn't mean that you need to go on and be an SC itself. Just because your first job is maybe a business analyst, doesn't mean that you need to be a business analyst forever, right? Try out multiple areas. I mean, especially when you're still learning, you have that opportunity to, like I mentioned, try certain projects, try certain exercises that are in these specific domains and see what you like more. I mean, we need to, because as you explore and find at that point what's your passion, you will be great at it. And when you're great at it, it's easier for you to land a job. It's easier for you to grow in that job, and it's easier for you to then see where you need to go now. Because if you're not interested in it, when you usually talk at an interview, even it becomes clear. But when those people who are like, yeah, this is what I want to do, this excites me, you can feel that energy usually coming from someone. And maybe you try it out and it's not for you, but at the end of the day, trying out the role taught you something. So, I mean, everything teaches you in life. So you don't need to think about that. And also another factor people try to think is this role cool enough? For example, maybe we may think that a cloud engineer is not as cool as an SC or something like that, but still all of these roles are needed and equally valuable for a company to function, right? And maybe I may be good at one of those. And yes, if we move to the next slide. Yes. All the roles that I spoke about before, they have their own domain skills, they have their own technical skills that are needed. But these skills here are cross among all of them. I mean, like I said, all of these are needed for whatever role you work on. And all of these skills are what we get the first impression of you in your interview, right? So communication, why is that important if you ask? Can you explain an idea clearly? If you are giving an idea, can you explain it clearly? If you are an SC, can you explain your question clearly? Can you clarify your doubts clearly? I mean, a lot of the problems we face in the software engineering industry is because of this. It's because of either communication is not there, or either maybe even collaboration is not there. That's why we say collaboration is important. Whether you're high in collaboration or low in collaboration, it's important to have. Because you need to be able to work in a group, and the dynamic is very important. And of course, willingness to learn. I mean, 10 years ago, the technologies we used and what we use now is completely different. And you're not going to be doing a degree every 10 years, for example, to keep learning new things. You're going to have to learn that on the job as you go, keep up to date with it, know these things are coming in. For example, when these AI tools are coming in, personally, I never learned that when I was in university. I have to learn that while I'm working, see what's up, make sure my team is aware of it, help them, and all of that. So you can't just say I finished university, so now I don't need to learn. It's something that we need to continue doing and keep doing, and go from there. Yeah, and if we go, my last slide is basically just a small word of advice. I mean, your path doesn't look like the next person's path, and it doesn't have to look like someone else's path. You may take different paths, you may stray away from the original path you started on, start at one, maybe start as an SC and end up in UX, start as an SC and end up in QA. I mean, those are all fine, right? Everyone's journey is valid. And at this point, if you have not figured it out yet, it's fine. I mean, you don't need to panic. I mean, when I was in second year at uni or third year in uni, when I didn't know what I wanted to do, and at the end, you need to have that faith that, okay, you're going to figure it out. And all of these sessions that you are attending and listening into as well will help you at the end of the day kind of find those answers. And yeah, I mean, the IT or tech world is massive. It's huge and it keeps growing every day. So don't worry, you will, I mean, you'll find a place somewhere, and make sure it's a place that you like, a place that suits you. And I hope some of the things we spoke about today helps you find that place. And don't be afraid to evolve once you get there. Yeah, I think that's it from me, and I think I can hand it over back to Ms. Ansala to go through some real world insights.
Okay, thank you, Romario. So, I'll talk about some insights under the real world. So, we'll see if you are a person who want to work in the IT section. So, up to now, you have discussed several factors. What are the sectors, and then the roles that you can go across. So, in this quote, it's mentioned something. Just read about that. Okay, so it's mentioned about in the IT sections, it's not always working a programmer, as you know, it is having several set of people who are dealing with the different sectors that we have discussed. So we are having the tech creatives, the communicators, and the problem solvers. So who are these creatives? As you have discussed, so the UI UX designers are creating or designing our applications, and the graphic artists, the content creators are involving in uh, making our product. So those people we can categorize under the creative people who are dealing in delivering the product. And also we are having the communicators also. So as we discussed, the business analyst, the technical writers, product owners, so those people we can take some as some examples who are dealing with certain communications when we are delivering or when we are creating our product or service. So not only that, in the IT section, it's involving the problem solvers as well. We categorized some people as problem solvers. So who are those? The project managers, scrum masters, and the QA testers are some examples for that. So they are removing some obstacles in our working flow and ensure smooth, as I mentioned, they are ensure the workflow is going well smoothly. And then some people are helping out figure it certain bugs, and then the developers again fix it out, and again quality checking is doing. So those things are dealing in our set of developers. So many set of people are needed in order to deal with certain IT operations. So up to now, I hope you got good understanding about these real world scenarios. Okay, so we'll go to the next slide. So I have taken some points that may again got from insights. So those insights may be needed when we are exploring diverse careers in IT. So there are several career paths that you can choose according to your your passion. You can choose whatever the things that you need to go with. So sometimes initially you may find it with a certain passion that you need to follow, but sometime at the middle of your career path you will find it. So that's why it's mentioned the people rarely follow a straight path. So mostly the people who maybe started with some careers, and maybe they ended with another career. So why that is happen? Maybe some experience, some exposure they are taking from their previous roles. They maybe change their career life. So that is kind of an example that you can think, okay, after I getting kind of a experience or some passion changing, I can shift into certain uh, roles that you are like. And again, the skills also affected, not only the experience exposure you got, maybe some skill sets that you polished, um, or else some skills that you are having with your own, that also can be affected in order to do in order to explore certain careers in your career path. So maybe you are having analytical thinking, but you may be a person who dealt with certain kind of managing roles, but you need to shift into another role. So that at that time you can go with kind of a QA roles that we have discussed. So that skill set may be beneficial, as well as maybe you are having kind of a network knowledge, but you need to go with cybersecurity as well. So that may be kind of a base to start with cybersecurity, because in networking we are learning whatever uh, the devices which are under the infrastructure and the networking. So we need those things in order to go through the cybersecurity stuff, so that I can say as kind of a base knowledge. And yeah, so we'll see. So those are some examples that you may helpful to explore your careers. And not only that, the certifications and the online learning matter also may be affected for your career journey. So there are nowadays there are so many learning platforms as Romario mentioned. So our learning is not to stop from our university life or maybe the learning period. You are learning time to time in your career journey as well. So you can follow these certifications and online learning method. We are having the Coursera, Udemy, and LinkedIn learning platforms. So those things are help for people to pivot without certain formal degrees. And so as you know, if you want to focus on certain cloud hosted services like the AWS, Azure, so as some examples, you can uh, learn how those things are working, and those things may be open doors to new fields. Okay, so we'll see the other one. The practical experience counts more than titles. So rather than the titles that you are having for in your job roles, the knowledge that you are taking, or else the practical knowledge that you are taking through those things are beneficial for your future roles as well, right? And the real world practice I need to mention in here by doing certain freelancing projects, and if you can do certain internships or volunteering activities. So those things are giving kind of a good experience in order to go through your career journey. Okay, and the emerging technologies also create new roles for you. So nowadays, the AI is coming under most demanding technology. So it is our task actually, but it's not fade out our IC roles. Those are is our activities. So we need to always adhere to the other trending technologies. Otherwise, we are maybe lagging behind the technologies. So we need to always go through the technology trend. So under the AI ethics, the cloud securities, data privacy, maybe there are upcoming jobs coming as some demanding roles in upcoming years. So those things will not exist maybe 10 years before. So you need to always be focused on the upcoming technologies if you want to explore with your diverse careers. Okay, so we'll see the other point. So that is the soft skills, as before the Romario also has discussed. So we need not only the technical skills actually, we need the soft skills like the communication, the teamwork skill, and if you're having the leadership skills. So those things maybe again open doors to project management and the business analysis. So people can very actively and then in knowledgeable way they can engage in these kind of roles if you're having the set of soft skills. Okay, so hope that is clear for you all. So we'll go through this question. Actually, this is a question that I want to put in order to explain something. So just read this one. Okay, what it is asking, how to collaborate across teams, and how to be adaptable within your career journey, and how to solve problems in efficient manner. In order to answer these questions, I have a YouTube short video as well. I'll play that one.
The English biologist Thomas Huxley.
I hope it is audible for you all. I'll play it again.
Yes.
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 The
Okay,
English
thank
biologist.
you. Okay, thank you. Right.
The English biologist Thomas Huxley famously said, "Try to learn something about everything and everything about something." This perfectly aligns with the modern idea of a T-shaped profile, where you have one expertise and general knowledge about a lot of things to make that one expertise have utility in a lot of different areas. That is the kind of professional skill set you want to aim for.
Okay, so I hope you have watched it. So I have put that video clip in order to give kind of idea about the T-shaped skills. Here I have in the topic the T-shaped skills. If you have listened to that, you can get kind of idea. So what is this T-shaped skills? So as the letter represent the T, we are having the horizontal bar and we are having the vertical bar. So the horizontal bar it's represent the kind of knowledge areas that we need to have if you want to deal with certain area for a long time. You need to basically know set of things, not in a deep manner, but you need to have even kind of some idea if you want to deal with other people in your working area. So that may be very beneficial. So that's why we are having the horizontal bar, and then the vertical bar, what it is representing. So it is telling that even though you are having certain broad knowledge, certain simple knowledge relevant to the some relevant areas, you need to have always a deeper knowledge in one specific area. You need to have kind of a thorough knowledge. So at that time we can call then you are an expertise in a certain area. So that is why learning the importance about T-shaped skills may be beneficial in order to explore through your career journey. So again, we can answer for our questions why this is valuable in IT. So it is helpful to collaborate across teams because you can understand the basics of some other roles as well according to the T-shaped skill, and also you can very efficiently solve the problems as well because you can see a bigger picture, not only the thing that you are doing but the other rest of the people. If they dealing with some other relevant task, you know what they are doing, so you can solve the problems efficient, and also you can be more adaptable according to the technology change because you are not stopping the learning, you are keep learning as you go. So that's why we have these T-shaped skills. We need to have it in our career journey throughout it. Okay, so as the ending message again, I can give it the message that I mentioned in the T-shape skills. Try to learn something about everything and everything about something. Okay, so from this point, we can end up the session delivery. So this is for the questions.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Romario and Ms. Isansala, for that incredibly insightful and in detail session. So now we would like to open the space for our audience for the Q&A session. So if you have any question, please use the raise hand feature, or you can drop your questions in the Zoom chat box as well. So I will be reading them out one by one. So please remember to unmute yourself only when we invite you to speak. So we have some questions coming up. So let's begin with the first question. So the question is, dear sir or madam, data science and related roles, are we fresh graduates able to join junior level opportunities directly, or do we need to gain experience as a software engineer and focus those careers while in the industry? That is our first question.
Yeah. So according to that question, so I can give an answer. So you don't need like before experience to work as SC or software engineer, you can directly go through the data science roles if you have kind of like the exposure relevant to the data management, or as if you have done certain projects, certain tasks in your university time with the data management, so you can I think you can directly apply for those roles as well rather than going through SC role.
Yeah, okay. Thank you very much, Mrs. Ansela, for your answer. So the next question is from Ditmi Dilhara. She's asking, Sir and Madam, for the BA roles or project management roles, have we need to go through more languages like Python, other language, or other languages? I am a management and information technology student.
Okay, so in this case, actually, as I mentioned, if you're focusing about business analyst role, so you maybe have the passion of sorting out certain scenario into some kind of a specifications that can understand by the technical people by taking the requirement from client end. So you need to have the always the analytical skill in here, but if you are familiar with the programming languages as well, it is beneficial, but don't need to go through in-depth knowledge as I know. Maybe Romario also can add on top of that.
Yeah, so I think exactly like what you said. I mean, again, as a BA or product management role, what's mainly important is being able to share your ideas, communicate your ideas, and also plan things out, not necessarily being able to code and all of that. But obviously, I mean, since you are in information technology, that stream, you will kind of understand certain terms. I mean, like what is an API, what is a database, what's a table. You will understand those things, and that's good. It's an added advantage, but it doesn't mean that you need to understand that, or that you need to know, for an example, how to define a variable in, Python or something like that. So main thing is to have that communication skills and be able to explain ideas and understand requirements and kind of document those properly. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Romario and Ms. Nisansela for that in detailed answer. So we have another few more questions. So moving on to the next question from Sevanti. She's asking, Sir or Madam, I am following a computer science degree and I am interested in making new innovations. For example, say Arduino accessories. Can I begin with my career, Sir or Madam?
Yeah. So if I give my answer for say one day, so it doesn't matter what kind of IT relevant degree that you are doing, the passion is matters most, I would say. So if you like to create new innovations, if you are if you're having exposure relevant to the Arduino accessory, so that is very beneficial to apply kind of a role dealing with that area. So you can follow certain sites that is relevant to the giving kind of information about certain roles under the Arduino accessories and the hardware devices. So there are certain companies as well mainly dealing with device making, like if I take an example, the Zebra Technologies. So they are recruiting certain people who are dealing with certain accessories, so you can have a kind of a good idea about certain companies and the sites which are giving certain job roles. Maybe Romario also, if you can want, you can add it.
Yeah, I mean, IoT, right? That's the start of working with IoT and all is trying out these different projects with Arduinos and all of that. So actually, I started off as well working with IoT and all of that. And yeah, I mean, I don't see any reason not to. It's again part of software engineering, and if you take it in a larger scale, a lot of, for example, the manufacturing customers we have and that we work with, they work with assembly lines, they work with automated robots and things like that. So again, that's where these expertise can come into. So yeah, that's also definitely a good path to explore.
Okay, appreciating both of your answers. So the next question is, if we want to learn programming languages online, could you please recommend sources where we could learn them?
Yeah, so there are so many online platforms that you can follow. As a student, we are having certain platforms like the Code Academy, the Udemy provides certain courses you can follow, the Coursera, the Free Code Camp. As an example, we can take those. So those are actually very kind of important sites that giving kind of idea about how to deal with certain kind of languages, the technologies that maybe you are using?
Okay, thank you for your answer. The next question is, in local industry, I feel lack of security and AI related interns and opportunities for fresh graduates. So, sir or madam, what is your advice? Do we need to wait to join the industry with our best interest field, for example, security or AI, or should we train for like web application development, where often opportunities are available and quick job landing is possible, despite of our interest?
Okay, so how can I answer for this one? So there are actually some roles relevant to the security management in the cybersecurity. Also, there are kind of roles coming in kind of organizations. In some organizations, it must having the AI roles also. There are kind of roles as we have discussed, but if you couldn't get kind of opportunity sometimes, so you may be worried, so you can always start with your interest. That is okay. So you can maybe I can say you can create projects, the mini projects. You can demand those things once you are applying the jobs. So at that time, unfortunately, if you couldn't find, you can do certain internships as well. So those things may be beneficial. So on top of that, Romario, can you add something?
Yeah. So again, I mean, it's like, for example, these way roles are kind of, for example, AI roles are kind of new to the industry, especially over here right now. So internships in those roles will be yet not that famous and not that much available. But that doesn't mean that you can't start with, for example, an AC internship. Because a software engineering internship, I mean, in most cases or in a lot of cases, will still involve you using AI. I mean, nowadays, if you're an SC, you are going to have to use AI in your day-to-day work. So yeah, you may not be building, for example, ML things and all of that, but still you'll get the chance to use AI tools and AI technologies in your day-to-day work. And again, it's an internship and you're learning, and still on the side you can put some time to maybe deep dive into these things, and later on, once you're done and ready for a permanent position, or outside your internship, you'll have that knowledge. So yeah, I mean, I can get that, like, your passion is that, but then practical thing is not that. And sometimes you have to face that reality. And I mean, honestly, like, for example, an AC internship does not mean that you're not going to get to work with AI. So it's something that you should be able to consider.
Okay, so the next question up is from Mohammed. He's asking how to become a blockchain developer.
Okay, so I haven't much knowledge about actually the blockchain relevant things. So if you want to go to certain developing role under that certain field, so actually you need to always have to kind of uh, enthusiasm to thorough your knowledge relevant to the blockchain and find out certain courses that you can get certain certifications. I think those things may be beneficial to find out certain opportunities. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Mrs. Ansala. So there is another questions which is sent privately to me, so I will put it so that every one of you can view it again. So the question is, uh, Sir and Madam, I am interested to go to cybersecurity field, but I never see much opening jobs in this field. If I want to join this field as a fresher or intern, where can I find it?
Yeah. Romario, maybe you can
Yeah, maybe
answer
I
it.
can take that. So again, I mean, again, cybersecurity is again a pretty much a very complex field, I'd say. So it's again like the AI engineer thing and all of that. There is sometimes you need to take a stepping stone to get there. So I mean, there is a lot of network engineer and network admin related internships out there that I have seen. So maybe it's good to spend your internship in that, gain that, because again, that's kind of foundational experience you need first to get into maybe a more expert level thing like cybersecurity. And yeah, again, it's not that there aren't opportunities. I have seen some, for example, on LinkedIn here and there as well, but it's not a lot. So in those way instances, with roles like that, it's always good to maybe look at a stepping role that can be a stepping stone for you. That's going to be a foundation for that role, because again, kind of cybersecurity, you're not going to make a waste of your network in related role, right? I mean, it's going to still be useful. So maybe it's good to still take that opportunity, learn that, and kind of have that co-experience as well as those roles come. Because I mean, it is what it is, right? I mean, the job market is not going to give us jobs as and when we need. So we need to kind of see what's available, how can we use what's available to learn and be ready for the role that comes when it comes, the role that we want when it comes. So sometimes that's a decision that we have to make.
Okay, thank you for your answer, Mr. Romario. So the next question is from Tarindu Abesinghe. He's saying, good evening, sir and madam. I am interested in game development with AI. How do you see AI shaping the future job market and roles in game development, and how to apply internships on certain fields?
Yeah, so according to the question from Tarindu, I can give kind of answer. So AI actually it's shape many roles, not only the game development. So we can ease our task with the help of AI. So in the game developments also same thing is applying. So that is ensures the productivity by applying the AI technology. So you can apply certain internships as you are doing in usual manner in applying certain other SE roles. So that is also coming under the developments. You can find where some certain organizations we are dealing with those game developments, the some application developments under that.
Okay, thank you for your in detailed answer, Ms. Nisansala. So we have another question from Ditmi Dilhara. She is asking, as an additional question to this part, I have seen some LinkedIn posts conducting some sessions about some topics by the IFS like a school. I have seen we also can participate for those things. If Madam or Sir can give an idea about those sessions.
Yeah, so as I know, the university students are coming to participate for some sessions which are conducting by IFS. That is correct, but I'm not know the correct the procedure how they are dealing with that. So maybe from universities, maybe if having kind of interrelationships, so they are coming for some kind of a party. The programming participations. So I'm not sure about that one actually, Romario. Maybe you also can add if you know something about that.
I'm also not, I mean, as I know, I think same as you, Nisansala, the universities, usually we have this, what we see on LinkedIn, some collaboration sessions we have with the university. So it's not usually like open for everyone. Again, it's pretty much like this some universities get in touch and we have they come over for some particular sessions. So I think maybe that's something that the university and IFS has to work out. Chamiti, I'm not sure if you're there. Probably it's something that we can look at.
Okay, no worries. So let's move to the next question. The next question is from Prasad. He's asking how to become a data engineer.
Okay, so in order to become a data engineer, so basically you need to have basic programming languages. So up to now you got kind of a programming language with your university study period, so that is maybe beneficial for you, but in order to be expertise in that area, you need to follow certain languages that may be needed to deal with the data analysis part. So maybe, as I mentioned earlier, the Python language, the Java, maybe some beneficial languages that you need to thoroughly learn, and some other tools are also having, so you need to get kind of a in-depth idea about those things in order to apply for such a role.
Okay, appreciate your answer very much, Mrs. Nisansala. So the next question is from Navoda Disanayaka. Dear Sir and Madam, how to find to join projects on web development?
Yeah, so I'm not clear about these questions. So you mean like joining the projects publicly or maybe internally? So if you are joining some public projects, so that may be also applicable. They may be having some public projects as well. But if you are going with some organization projects, we are having internal projects. If you go with certain internships, you may get kind of task within the project. So one person at a time, not involving along in the project, set of people involving with that, so you also can get kind of opportunity to work with projects in the internship.
All right, I hope Navoda got an idea from that answer. So the next question is from Kavindi Chetika. We have another similar question. So she is asking how to become a cloud engineer.
Yeah, so as I mentioned earlier, for the data engineer, you need to know about that set of basic technologies, the languages, same like that here also. If you want to deal with the cloud relevant stuff, you need to have the passion of learning about cloud relevant technologies like AWS, Azure, GCP, those things. And yeah, so those things may be beneficial, and apart from that, again, need to have basic programming knowledge as well.
Okay, so the next question up is, Madam, I am currently pursuing a natural science degree with computer science as my major. Can I become a data analyst with just this degree, or do I need to study data science separately?
Yeah, so you can apply for those roles. It doesn't matter. Don't need to study data science separately. But if you are applying that, you need to demand your skill set. So you can follow certain, as I mentioned, you can learn certain things by yourself. You can involve with certain mini projects by your own, and you can demand those things once you are presenting your once you are interviewing with certain job role.
Okay, I hope that answer helped you. So the next question is, Sir and Madam, in network engineering, do we have to complete professional certificates like Cisco or Compatia, or can we join the internships with basic degree knowledge and project experiences? Sir, Madam, what are your advices when facing interviews and showing my skills to the industry internships?
Yeah, so I'm not much familiar about the roles under the network and infrastructure field. So it is kind of a beneficial, some kind of a advantage if you follow certain certifications, as I mentioned, but I'm not sure about whether it is mandatory or not. You can, as I mentioned, can involve for certain projects that conducting by yourself, that are doing by yourself. So those things may be beneficial. I'm not sure about whether you need to follow that is mandatory.
Yeah, I think again, I mean, it's an internship, right? So usually there aren't many requirements for to have the certifications at that point because if you look at the purpose of an internship is for learning. I'm not saying that for everything that will be the case, but for most internships, it will be not a mandatory thing. So it's meant for you to do take part while you're doing your degree, right? So it's not a requirement. It's something probably you can do on the job as well. Again, it will depend on that particular company's policy and all of that.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Romario. The next question is, I am currently learning Prolog and I am interested in understanding more about its practical applications. Could you please explain how Prolog is used in local industries, especially in office environments or real-world projects?
Okay, so that is again kind of a programming language. So if you want to expertise in that certain area, so again you can follow certain certifications as I mentioned, but I'm not sure about some set of specific roles which are asking for that Prolog language. On top of that, Romario, if you can add something.
Yeah, I mean, how it is again. I don't think, like you said, personal, like here over here, that's something that we are using, but it would depend on where it's used. I mean, of course, like it's used for AI and NLP and things like that. So there may be certain places that it's used, but I think it's not a common thing that's used. I mean, always, if we are putting some effort to know something, it's good to kind of look around and see what some more common language, common framework that's being used and learn that. Again, something like this may be not that common. So, yeah.
All right. So coming up next, we have an interesting question. The question is, I would like to improve my problem solving skills. Could you kindly share some suggestions or effective methods to develop them?
Okay, so if you love to solve problems, so that is, yeah, so if you are dealing with again in teamwork, team activities, or if you are engaging well for certain project involvement, so at that time you can apply by yourself and get to know whether you can do it or not. So according to the requirements, you can just go through certain specifications and you can find out solution. So likewise you can check your own knowledge on that, I think.
And I think if you want to practice these out and all, something that I mean, even I personally still do, and sometimes a lot of people do even before interviews, is use tools like Lead Code, HackerRank, and all of that. I mean, you will have a lot of coding problems, logical problems to solve as well. Usually they are a bit, I mean, they vary in complexity, but if you want to kind of practice those kind of skills, I mean, that's out there, and that's what a lot of SCs use as well when they want to practice things, and especially before interviews and things like that.
All right. And the next question is, Sir and Madam, can you give an idea about the combination of data science and AI?
Okay, so the data science, maybe in another data science, there are having set of job roles. So if you are want to kind of, or if you want to find certain predictions, certain mappings relevant to the data sets. So that is coming under the data science relevant task. And the AI means it is used, it is helping out to efficiently done with our task if we are using the chatbots and some other tools like the Copilot in order to take suggestions. So that is coming under the AI relevant things. So there are a set of roles basically for data science and AI. So they may be having kind of a difference. It has the thing that we are doing with.
Okay, so next we have a similar questions that we have answered, but in a more elaborated form. So the question is, I am interested in pursuing a career as a data scientist, and I would like to know what steps I should take in terms of skills, courses, and practical experiences. Could you kindly guide me on how to begin and what should I focus on this stage?
Okay, maybe Romario, can you add some answer for that?
Yeah. So I mean, again, what are the for all of these questions? I mean, I'm seeing a lot of questions about that we want to pursue certain careers and how we can get started, right? I mean, first things first. I mean, do we know what that career is about? What's part of that career? What's required usually in a role uh, that's related to that career? And for example, if you take a data scientist, it's obviously going to be kind of statistics, kind of have a bit of basic maths skills as well, right? I mean, so do we have a strong foundation in that? If we don't, we need to start working on that. Then, of course, we need to have some experience with Python. I mean, maybe not in the same level as an SC, but you need to be able to kind of manipulate Python to work with, those libraries like Pandas and Matplotlib and things like that, right? I mean, if you're not familiar with that, that's probably where we need to start at. Then after that, using those, how can I use some of the data sets that are available online and, start building things to learn how to handle the data, to learn data visualization and all of that. Then once we are done with those two things, then we can move on to then a bit more complex things. Try to learn some machine learning basics. Again, see what's out there, learn the different, like supervised learning, unsupervised learning, and a bunch of those different algorithms that are out there with regards to that. And once you have got all of that knowledge under your belt, start working on some personal projects. Have that practical experience to show that I have tried these out and I am working on this. And I think finding what's needed in a role and all of that is available. I mean, any of us can go and kind of look at that, look at some job postings and see that, because it will evolve. Today I'll say that these are needed, and maybe tomorrow there is this new language that comes out that's better than Python and doing all of this, then that's going to be part of it. But I mean, at this point we can look at what's needed, for example, like what I said, and step by step focus on getting those done. And of course there is enough and more online courses that we could try out as well to get started, like Udemy and Coursera and things like that. So yeah, a lot of opportunities to learn.
Thank you very much for your on-point answer, Mr. Romario. So the next question is from Loshita. He's asking, I am a final year student currently waiting for my results. I have completed a 6-month internship and I am actively applying for associate QA positions. However, I have not yet been successful in securing a job. Could you kindly guide me on how to begin and what should I focus on at this stage to improve my chances? Thank you very much for your time and support.
Okay, so if you are willing to find a job role So you need to again need to have kind of a skill set that you can demand in finding certain job role, as I mentioned. So once you are applying, you need to make sure again the CV is formatted well. Also, you can follow certain formats that you can have it in a clear and nice manner, which that may be beneficial in the recruitment process in order to highlight your skill set. So you need to have a good knowledge about that one as well. And yeah, so in meantime, you can follow certain courses and certification, and you can upskill your skill set.
Okay, thank you very much for your answer. So we have another question from Tarindu. He's asking, which soft skills are essential to develop when transitioning into a career involving AI?
Okay, so in terms of skill sets, so you need to uh, deal with basic programming languages in the technical aspect, as well as there are a set of programming languages which are dealing with the machine learning concepts and the training models. So you need to have kind of a knowledge about that one as well, and as kind of a non-technical skills that you need to follow. So if you want to be uh, a kind of an analyst person, so you need to have kind of a good knowledge relevant to the data analysis. So those skill set you need to grow if you need to follow such a role.
Okay, so the next question is from Amna. She is asking, I have studied programming languages such as Python, Java, JavaScript, and PHP. Sir and madam, which platform is better, data analysis or web development? My degree is BA Honours in Information and Communication Technology.
Okay, so for these questions, I cannot directly say which role is better for you. Again, if you are a student from the IT section, a certain degree coming under the IT section, that doesn't matter the role that you are applying for. So again, you need to have kind of a passion for that certain role if you are going to apply, and you need to grow that skill set as well, as I mentioned earlier. Uh, yeah.
Okay, so we have another few more questions. And we also have another question from Loshita. He's asking, what are the tools used for QA automation at the IFS?
Yes, so in IFS, there are some outsource relevant tools are being used. So as I can remember, the Selenium may be kind of a tool it's using currently. So I'm not sure about some other tools, maybe according to the requirements or certain departments wise, the tools may be changed. If you have kind of idea about that, Romario, can you
Yeah,
add
so
something?
like you mentioned, again, we have a lot of departments, a lot of teams working. So we have R&D support and things like that. So something that we use at R&D a lot is Catalan, and now we are trying to transition that into Functionize, and that's for again UI testing, right? And then another kind of automated testing we have is API testing, because a lot of our log business logic is exposed via APIs. So we can get a lot of that done through API testing, and that's again done through kind of frame. Like we wrote a tool to do that itself, Markdown based on, which indirectly runs through, makes a postman call and all of that. So that's automated through a script. No one goes to postman and does that. We basically just make that API call and do that. And then we have again unit tests, since our business logic is mainly written on PLSQL. We have a PLSQL unit testing framework that's available. It's kind of a common one. And then for our Angular based code, we use Jasmine tests for unit testing. There is a couple of others that across different product groups we use, but those are kind of the main ones.
Okay, so we have one last question for the workshop 3 today. So the last question is, how can I become an entrepreneur using my IT skills in Sri Lanka and business ideas to get started with?
Okay, so from my end, I can give an answer. So, in order to become an entrepreneur, so you can start your own business in the initial stage after you exit from the university as well. But it's better to have kind of a exposure before you start kind of a business by yourself. So, IT skills are beneficial for you, as we have discussed in different sectors. In order to manage different sectors, you need to have kind of a basic idea about those sectors as well, coming under the IT. So as I mentioned in the T-shaped skill set, you need to have kind of a broad knowledge about kind of a specific role, but you need to have again kind of I have kind of idea about some other set of specific roles that are doing in a certain organization. So that may be beneficial actually to start your own business.
Okay, thank you very much, Ms. Nisansala. So I guess that's it with our Q&A session for today. So that brings us to the end of this engaging and enriching session. So on behalf of the organizing team and all the participants here today, so I would like to express our deepest gratitude to our guest speakers, Mr. Romario Joseph and Ms. Nisansala Dabarera, for their valuable time, energy, and the wealth of knowledge they have shared today with our students. Your insights into navigating career pathways and real-world expectations have truly helped us to see the IT industry through a new lens. So, as a token of our appreciation, we would like to present this token of appreciation for you. So, Ms. Nisansala, I would like to request to stop sharing from your end because we have something little to
Yeah,
share with
sure.
you both. Okay, thank you, Ms. Nisansala. All right. So, to everyone who joined with us today, thank you for your active participation and thoughtful questions. So, don't forget that this is just the session 3 of our 6-part workshop series. So, we encourage you all to stay tuned with us for with our upcoming sessions as well. So, wishing you all the very best in your learning journey and future careers in IT. So, have a great evening ahead. Stay safe and stay curious. Thank you and good night, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dilrukshi. Thank you all.